The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are get my voice on screen, guys. Those are attending in online, please type in chat window. Sorry, type in questions box. Good morning to all. All of you are getting All of you are getting my voice on screen. Okay. Right, sir. And people are asking to me, then can I get this course content like this? Just 1 minute, I will explain to you how this course content is available. Right, guys. Now, just we can see this content. So, introduction part, steps to prepare Python applications, language fundamentals, operators, data types, typecasting, flow controllers, str type, listed tuple, set technique. Then after that, functions and variables, modules, packages, patterns. So these are first part of the Python that will be like core module, core Python. In general, people are used to say. Next, advanced Python. Then the next topic would be like advanced Python. So what we are going to have the content. Like this is part two of this Python OOPS, exception handling, multi-threading, file handling, PDBC, Python database connectivity, regular expressions, decorators, generators, accessions, Python logging, and Python GUI. Take enter. So GUI module we are going to see. Then after that, separate list of modules we are going to be covered. A list of modules that we are going to be understand. So advanced Python. This is part two of the Python. Now part three of the Python is what? Like math module, random module, date time module, NumPy, pandas, matplotlib, Seaborn, and sockets. So these are the part three. That means module number three. That means and part three of the Python. This is basic Python syllabus. What I covered. So guys, then we already aware about it, right? And in the case of this Python, PDBC is available. PDBC, Python database connectivity. So there we are going to interact with the database. So which databases we are going to use in our applications, no? That we can decide, and Oracle, MySQL, MongoDB, and AWS Cloud database integration also. AWS Cloud, Oracle, MySQL, MongoDB, AWS Cloud database integration. That will also we are going to provide. All right, so now in our course, what are the various editors and IDEs we are going to be covered? I am going to be covered. So nearly 10 IDEs, the total tools. Ideally, Edit Plus, Notepad Plus, Sublime Text, Atom, VS Code, Jupyter Notebook, Google Colab, and PyCharm and VS, Visual Studio. And please, guys, recognize this point. No, this is not Oracle course, or this is not database course. This is Python course. In this Python, I required this databases utilization. So what I will cover, I will cover up to how to install these databases and how to use these databases at basic level. The basic SQL queries. That means what I'm telling you, up to how much is required for PDBC applications, up to how much you require PDBC applications, and up to that we will discuss these databases. Apart from that, we are not going to discuss about much more about this content. Understand, guys, what I'm telling you. So because of that is what I'm telling you, up to how much I required in Oracle to move for PDBC, up to that I will discuss with you. But I'm sure about it. Installation of the Oracle database, basic SQL queries execution, and installation of MySQL database and basic SQL queries execution, and installation of MongoDB and basic operations on this MongoDB. These content I'm going to be covered with respect to the database partner. Right? Good, guys. Now this is one thing I'm telling to you. So IDs and IDLEs, then what I'm going to be covered, and series, then whatever the IDs and editors which are very much famous in outside. After that, we are going to see now. IDLE, Edit Plus, Notepad Plus, Sublime Text, Atom, and VS Code, Jupyter Notebook, Google Colab, PyCharm, and Visual Studio. Alright, so these many things here we are getting. Right? Alright, yes. Then after that, see advantages from Durga Soft regarding these courses. Now you are able to get this content. Every class videos will be provided through Google Drive up to 1 year of time, along with present batch videos will provide one previous batch videos also. Official Durga Soft material plus my own material I will provide. Classroom notes. I'm telling you, classroom assignments depending on the topics wise. And apart from this, live execution. So, like so many advantages you are able to get. Classes will be on Monday to Saturday only. First 15 days of time, I will take sessions at 9 a.m. After 15 days of time, I'll conduct classes at 10 a.m. guys. Please remember this point now. Please remember this point. First 15 days of time, classes are going on at the 9 a.m. going on. After 15 days of time, I'll conduct the classes at what time there? 10 a.m. There's the class timings I'm providing you. Try to recognize this class timings, all of you. Good. And then what are the various batches here we are starting now? We are starting actually two types of batches I started in this today. But today in the sense today is the second demo class. Two types of batches I started. What are the two types of batches I started there? First Python, core Python, and advanced Python. Batch a project at the end. Project in the sense what I'm telling you, for the sake of your practice purpose, a little bit application oriented project I want to provide. So that I will show inside the classroom itself. So core and advanced Python and libraries, whatever the libraries are given, 2 to 2.5 months of time it will take. Again, I'm telling you, first 15 days of time, 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. and remaining part will be covered at 10 a.m. Right, so Python package batch will include what we are going to include there: core Python, advanced Python, Django framework, but optionally we are providing like what now? Flask. Django, optionally we are providing Flask, and next one is what? REST API and the UI technologies we are going to be covered. UI technologies are also we are going to be covered. Now observe carefully. Right. So in UI technologies, what we are going to be covered? HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, DOM, jQuery, Ajax. After this part, we'll cover in UI technologies. Right, so it will take around 4 months of time. So, but we have to assign two slots for me, 9 to 10 as well as 10 to 11. These two slots you have to assign for me. Then up to 4 months of time, we are going to take it to complete this total Python batch, Python package batch. Right. Good. Regarding this procedure, yes, it is no need to worry for that. I will take care about it. I will take care about it and you'll get it max. Right. Yes. And Suresh, I think so. That is some other individual batch, some other tennis batch. I think so. Maybe it's not related to me. Just we can check it. What is that? Right. Yes. Then if you have any concerns regarding this procedure of joining with our classes, just we can talk with our admin, and she's Bhavani. She'll be available two numbers and mail ID. Just we can take these numbers. We can talk with her, and she will provide required guidance, required information to you. Right. All right, guys. Now it's fine. It's fine. And shall we move on to our content? Shall we start our content? Shall we start our content? Yes, Vivas, Amar, Vivas. Are you getting my voice now? Right. Sir. Just syllabus I have written, sir. At starting, nothing I have written. Okay, good. Right, guys. That's okay, fine. Now let's see the remaining parts. So already I explained to you the durations of this course. Only Python if you join for it and 2 to 2.5 months of time. All right, and for Python package, already given this durations, guys. Okay, check it. Then after that, Python package will take around 4 months of time we have to spend here. Two slots we have to assign, 9 to 10 and 10 to 11. Okay, good. Certification, more than certification we are covering soon. But I'm sure if you want to go for the certification on the basis of this Microsoft certification on Python, no, I'm sure about it up to 85 to 90% of score. But more than that, if you want to get it, and separate course is going on, certification course. Just we have to join with that. Durga sir is taking that certification process now, right? But the Microsoft certificate, I think so, not IBM certification. Microsoft certificate. Anyway, that classes are different. Just one time we can go for the class there you are able to get much information regarding this. Right, yes. Now let's move on to our content. So just I'll give you basic information on this Python. Guys, I'm asking to you now. Tell me, and which year the Python was released to the market? Any idea? And which year the Python was released? First of all, now tell me who is the author for Python? Any idea? Who is author for Python? Who has prepared this Python? Any idea? Author for Python. Tell me, guys. So, Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum is the author for Python. Understand? Who is this person actually? Who is this person actually? Guido van Rossum is inventor of the Python programming language that we know. Good. Initially, he is a team member in a programming language building team. That means there is a team. The team is preparing a programming language. That programming language is called as ABC programming language. Initially, is one of the team member. It is preparing. The team is preparing a new programming language that is ABC programming language. Right, sir. ABC programming language. At which location they know? Centrum Viscande Informatica, CWI. Centrum Viscande Informatica. So we CWI at Netherlands. At Netherlands, he worked with this particular project, Centrum Viscande Informatica. So with that, he is one of the team member. He is preparing a new programming language by the time. Right, that programming language was what? ABC programming language. This is the situation now. Good. Then what happened? So he didn't satisfied with ABC programming language. He's one of the team member to prepare the new programming language, ABC programming language. They have done it. They completed the programming language, but he didn't satisfied with ABC programming language. He understood some loopholes of ABC programming language. Then to provide solutions for these loopholes, to resolve these loopholes, he started to prepare a new programming language separately. So to understand, to address the loopholes of this ABC programming language, Gode van Reason, he started to prepare a new programming language. In the year 1989, Max, in the year 1989, he started to prepare a new programming language. That programming language contains a simple scripting, and that programming language contains a simple scripting, a simple parser, and a simple runtime. So with the various parts of the ABC programming language. Understand it now? He is one of the member to prepare ABC programming language, who understood the loopholes of this ABC programming language, and finally decided he want to prepare a new programming language, which should be a simple, and it should be a simple scripting language, and it should be a parser, or it should be a runtime. That's it. This is the meaning of like what now? He has the urgent to prepare a new programming language. All of you guys observe this clearly what I'm telling you. Good, that's fine. The next one is after understanding this particular point, he started preparing new programming language. Good. So he completed that new programming language also. Then the remaining point is what he wants to give a name to the new programming language. He wants to give name to the new programming language. So finally, he has given a name to the new programming language is what? Name is what? Then Python. Python is the name. He has given name of the programming language is what? Python. Understand my point now? Python. What is this Python actually? Is it really a snake's name? Is it really a snake name? Is it really a snake name? Has given this kind of thing as because of the snake's name? Yes, just wait a minute of time. Right, guys. Just wait a minute. Okay. Guys, this I'm asking a question to you. What is this Python actually? Is it really a snake's name? The name itself seems like Python. Is it really a snake's name? You have to answer for it, yes. Is it really a snake's name, or is any other name? Some people are thinking about it. Python is a snake name. Not only that, and even if you observe the Python symbol as a combination of two snakes. Combination of two snakes. There we can see now. Is it really a snake's name? Right. Answer for this question is no. It is not really a snake's name. Please remember this point. What I'm telling you now. It is not a snake name. But what is this actually? What is this actually? This Python is one of the TV show, famous TV show at Britain. Right, Britain's TV show is one of the TV show which is very much famous on that moment in 1980s. That means in 1989. So the TV show is very much famous. Then what happened there? And Goedovan Rojum is a big fan of this TV show. Big fan of this TV show. Then by thinking like this, and he has given name for this new programming language is what? Python. So then Python is like what I'm telling you know. Python is a name. Python is a name that we are getting like what next one? Monty Python's Flying Circus. The TV show. The TV show from this only that author has given name for this programming language is what? Python. Monty Python's Flying Circus is a TV show at England, at Britain. So he's a big fan of this particular TV show. So he decided he want to give name to this new programming language is what? Python. Because of this TV show only. Right. Yeah, exactly. Now this is the naming history about this Python. We can understand it now. Okay, yes, that's fine, coach. After completion of this, what are the various versions are available? What are the various versions are available? Then anyway, then in 1989, he started preparing this new programming language. The moment when he come to the 1991, he prepared the total new programming language. Now he want to release the first version of the new programming language. Very first version, initial version of the Python programming language. Right. Then what about this Python version here? Initial version there. We can observe this clearly. Python 0. Please recognize this. Python 0.9.0 is the first version of the Python. It is not from 1.0. Python first version is not from 1.0. Python first version is from 0.9.0. Then where at which year? At which year the Python first version was provided to the market? No, in 1991. In 1991, the very first version of the Python was provided. Guys, now this programming language is somewhat older than Java even. Java first release was there. Java first version was provided in now 1996, January 23rd. Python was provided in 1991. In 1991, February month, I think so. The very first version of this Python was introduced in 1991. February 1991, I think so. That month I'm not remembering that, but 1991 is a date I remembered clearly. Good. Now inside these, what are the various features were provided there now? Simple. Language fundamentals are provided. Inside these, the features are like what this would be. 1 minute, guys, 1 minute page. Yeah. What are the features here we are getting from this Python 0.9.0? We can understand it. There's the fundamentals. Then what about these fundamentals? Some data types were provided, very fundamental data types and a list of data type and a dictive data types. Then after that, str data types and so on. Some data types and some language. Language itself was introduced on this particular one with the data types like this. We can understand it now. This is initial version. Good, guys. Then after that, after understanding these initial versions, just I want to say initial version. Right. Then after that, I want to say after a few years of time, like after a few years of time, like exactly in 1994 January, I think so, the second version of the Python was released. That is what now Python 1.0. Python 1.0 that was released in 1994 January, I think so. I'm not sure about this months exactly, but max years I'm able to specify. No, Python 1.0 version. Here we are getting in 1994. Right, sir? Some changes are available. What are the changes are available here regarding this 19 Python 1.0 changes are like what now? If you observe these features now, functional programming. Functions were introduced, functional programming tools. Not only functions, functional programming tools like what are these functional programming tools now? Like a map, reduce, then what next one here? Lambdas, map, reduce, lambdas, filters, and so on. So this type of new functions, that means new concepts are introduced. In the case of this word now, 9 Python 1.0 version. We can observe this clearly now. Next one is after completion of this Python 1.0 version, then what next one here? After a few years of time, Python 2.0 version was released. I think so that Python 2.0 was released on this 2000 year, I think so. On 2000 year, the Python then 2.0 was released. Right, so now inside this Python and 2.0 version, some updations are available. What are these updations actually? We can observe this clearly. Right, unique codes representations are introduced there. Right, the support for this unique codes. Next one is the list improvements, data types improvements in the sense like list improvements we are able to get. That's it. So then apart from this, what we are able to get there, list improvements and full garbage collectors, and so on and so on. These many features we are able to get. But anyway, guys, then not required to understand all these points, but time to time in the future I will discuss with you. Just I'm giving clarity for you what are the various versions are available in the case of this Python. That's my point. What I'm telling you. Simply what I'm telling you, versions. Versions information here I'm telling you that we have to understand. Right, so now 1.0 version here we understood. That means 0.9.0. That is one thing. Next one is what? 1.0. Next one is what? 2.0. Good. The moment when 2.0 version was released in Python, so Python demand was almost all gone. Nobody is thinking about Python. Nobody is thinking about Python. The moment when 2.x version was released, Python is totally gone in outside market. Meanwhile, other programming languages, C, C++, and these programming languages are coming into the picture. By the time, then automatically demand is going on with C, C++. At 1996, Java was released there. And there also be Java is getting more demand when compared with Python. So nobody is thinking about this Python. Everybody understand it clearly. Right, sir. Now, in the year 2000 and 2001, 2002, in the years 2000, 2001, 2002, very good boom is available for data analysis side. When compared with the other softwares, no, very good analysis is available at like what I'm telling you, very good analysis on data. Data analysis part is getting very good demand in outside. Data analysis side. Understand it? No? Then immediately what happened there? The data science people, data analysis in the sense data science only. The data science people required a programming language. It must have simple libraries and very good libraries, and it has to be supported for scientific calculations. So then data science people required a new programming language. It should be simple and it must provide less number of instructions, and it has very good libraries, and even to calculate scientific calculations we required some libraries. Then immediately they are thinking in outside which programming language are providing these many services, which programming language will be provided will provide these many services. Then immediately people are thinking in outside. Number of might be, understand guys what I'm telling you. So data science people required exactly a programming language. It must be with some very good libraries. It must support for scientific calculations. Then by the time the data science people checked with so many programming languages, but they didn't satisfy with any programming language. And finally, they went for Python. They checked the Python libraries, and they thought by seeing the Python library, they decided Python is the right suitable programming language. Python is a suitable programming language for this data science. As for this particular reason, so they selected Python as a programming language. Then, how they want to use the Python programming language now? How they want to utilize this Python programming language, what they want to provide, right? Exactly. If you come for this particular point, then data science people they require Python. In which way they want to see the Python? Whatever the Python 2.x version which is available, which is not sufficient. But then what I'm telling there, it would be like what I'm telling, we require that Python existed Python. But as per our requirement, we need to change that Python also. We have to change that Python also. The data science people have to change that Python little bit, but basic Python is okay. But over this basic Python, data science people require that is somewhat customization, somewhat implementations. Then immediately, what data science people have taken the responsibility, they have taken this Python 2.x version and they changed it right from architecture of this Python 2.x version onwards. They changed all the features of this Python. So finally, they provided this Python next version, right? That would be like what I'm telling that Python 3.0 in the year 2008. In the year 2008, Python 3.0 is getting released in outside Kenya. Answer my point here. So what are the various features are available? So many features are available. Even I'm not going to write that all the features here, but we can understand so many features are available. What are the various features are available? What are the various features which are provided by Python 3.x version? In 2008, Python 3.x version was released. Right, sir. So this Python 3.x version is also be called as, right, sir. Then is also be called as Py 3K, Py 3K, or simply we can understand Python 3000, Python 3000, Python 3000 or Py 3K. These names are going to be provided. We can observe this clearly. Py 3K or Python 3000. Yes, all of you observe this clearly, what I'm telling you. So the other names, then what are the various features are provided in the Python 3.x version, So print function is a function from 3.x version onwards. Next one is like what I'm telling you, some iterators are introduced. Iterators. Then after this print function, some iterators might be, but next one here, some updations. That means into data type is a scaled. That means no long data type. Long data type. That long data type was removed. Just only into data type, and so on and so on and so on. Some of the features are provided. Good. But here itself, I have to specify one more point. No, now 3.x version, subversions are going on, like what I'm telling you, Python at present, exactly the latest version of this Python would be like what? No, Python 3.8.5, Python 3.8.5. This is the latest version of the Python. Going on, guys, that more and more number of features are available, but it's not required to talk now. But in outside, more and more number of features are existed. So these are overall versions information we can understand. Guys, all of you are getting clarity on these points now. All of you are getting clarity on these points. What exactly are the versions and all? A brief history here I provided now. All of you are getting my points. Please confirm to me one time. No response, guys. All of you are getting my points now. Right. That's perfect. So this is totally a little bit basic awareness on like what I'm telling Python. So here, what are the points here we have to recognize? Python is a TV show name. The TV show name is what? Flying Circus. That means Monty Python's Flying Circus is a TV show. From this only, the name Python is coming. It is not a snake's name. So initial version is 0.9.0, 1991. Latest version is like what I'm telling there, Python 3.8.5. I think so. My previous month it might be released there. So good. Overall, 3.3 major versions are available in Python. But Python 1.x, four versions are available. 0.9.0 is nothing, language introduction. With some programming tools are added, functional programming tools are added with the 1.0 version. Then after that, Unicode support and improvements over list and full garbage collectors in 2000. In 2008, Py 3K, Python 3.x version is released. Then it's the subversions are going on at present. So many features are available, not required now. So many features are existed in the future. Right, so now this is somewhat information related to Python. Next one is after completion of these details. No, the second topic here I have to discuss with you directly. Differences between Python and others. Differences between Python and others. Here, others in the sense what? Here others in the sense what I'm telling C, C++, and Java. That we have to understand. And before this, one more small point I want to say about these versions of this Python. One more small point I want to say. Python 2 and Python 3 are totally different versions. Python 2 and Python 3 are totally different versions. Good. Moreover, what I'm telling you, Python 3 is not backward compatible with Python 2. Python 3 is not backward compatible with Python 2. What is the meaning of it now? If your project is designed on the basis of this Python 2, it will not run under Python 3. If your project is designed on the basis of this Python 2, then it will not run under Python 3. So it is not possible. That's the meaning of like what no? Backward compatibility. So what is the point I'm telling you? Python 3 is not backward compatible with the Python 2. So Python 3 is different and Python 2 is also be different. That's it. Now then after that, now let's come for these particular points. Differences between Python and others. Here others are what? C, C++, and Java. Right, sir. The very first difference I'm telling to all of you guys, now try to understand it. Python is very simple programming language when compared with C, C++, and Java. Python is very simple programming language when compared with C, C++, Java. Good. So we have to understand clearly this particular point. Right, sir. I want to give some reasons to you. Now try to recognize these reasons. How Python is simple programming language when compared with all other programming languages. Right, sir. I'll give some reasons to you. Now try to understand it. Python has a simple syntaxes. Python has very simple syntaxes. Exactly. I'll explain to all of you guys. Now try to understand it. In case of C, C++, Java, Java, int I is equal to 10. This is that variable declaration and initialization we have to do. Int I is equal to 10. And C, C++ and Java, int I is equal to 10. Fine. In case of Python, same. I'm going to declare I is equal to 10. That's it. That was I is equal to 10. So tell me guys, now here what happened there now? Which syntax is very simple? Which syntax is very simple to use? Which syntaxes are very simple? You have to decide for it. In C, C++, Java, we can declare a variable like int I is equal to 10. But in the case of Python, I is equal to 10. That only we are getting. Then which syntaxes are very simple? Now tell me guys. Decide here now. Is it Python or C, C++, Java? Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements here we have to write. But here how many elements now? 1, 2, 3 elements here we are writing. So it seems which syntaxes are very simple now? Python syntaxes are very simple. When compared with other programming languages, Python syntaxes are very simple. That is point number 1. Right, so now point number 2. Next one is what I'm telling you. Another thing is what now? Python statements are like general English statements. General English statements. Guys, observe this clearly. Python statements are like what? General English statements. Yeah, I'm asking one question to you. In the case of C, C++, Java, if you observe this ternary operator, say for example, ternary operator, if you observe this, and A is equal to 10, and A is equal to 10, and B is equal to 20. That we provided. So A less than B, mark A colon B semicolon. And min is equal to min value. A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 10. 20 into min is equal to A less than B question mark A colon B semicolon. That's it. Then after that, then what is the next point I'm telling to you after this? Listen guys, in the case of this Python, this is in the case of C, C++, Java. Similarly, in the case of Python, what happened? In the case of Python, what happened? Sibanaik, I will talk with you regarding that. Where statically typed or dynamically typed nature is available. Python has a dynamically typed, not statically typed. So that I will talk with you later. Sibanaik. But meanwhile, we can understand it. No, Python statements are like general English statements. Then how? Ternary operator, if you apply here, into min is equal to A less than B, question mark A colon B semicolon. That we are getting. But in the case of Python, the same thing we are able to provide. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. Observe carefully. Min is equal to A. Understand it. If A less than B, else B. Else B. Now tell me, guys. Just so we can observe this, or we can remove these points now. Here also we can remove these points now. Which statements are like general English kind of statement is somewhat programmatic kind of statement now. Yes, we have which statement is like generalized English statement and which statement is like a more programmatic statement. That's it. Now, just if we observe this clearly, if you observe this C, C++, Java, this is somewhat syntactic, more syntactic and more symbols. It's not like general English. But in the case of Python, what you are having here, A, if A less than B, else B. So this total syntax is like what now? General English style syntax. General English style syntax. But previous one is what? More programmatic kind of statements. So that's why because of this reason, what I'm telling you, Python statements are like general English statements. Python statements are like general English statements that we can identify. This is one point. Let's come for it. Then another point is what I'm telling you. Apart from this, Python is able to prepare applications with a less number of instructions. Python is able to prepare applications with a less number of instructions. Right, sir. Definitely less number of instructions. I'll talk with you. Guys, can you tell me in a C and a C++, both the programming languages, what you write, what you are going to write the program to display hello world information? To write minimum program. To write minimum program, what we have to do? Say for example, hash include yesterday.h void main. Inside this, printf of welcome to Durga Sahib. That information we are getting. This is like minimum program in the case of C, C++. You can understand it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like some instructions can be provided. Hash include yesterday.h and void main printf. Welcome to Durga Sahib. That we provided. That's okay, coach. But in the case of Java, what we have to do, guys, now tell me. In the case of Java, we have to take main class test. Inside this class test, we are going to write public static void main. Right. Now inside this public static void main, string array answer. Then here we will provide system.out.println of All right, what we are able to provide is a welcome message. Welcome to Bulkos. That we are providing in the case of this Java. In the C, C++, and in Java, minimum 4 to 5 lines of code here we have written to display the content. It's very clear. But in the case of Python, then what happened here? That intersection will be directly print off. Welcome to Durgasoft. Welcome to Durgasoft. In the case of Python, only one statement. That statement is what? Welcome to Durgasoft. Okay, guys, then which programming language is very simple? Which programming language takes less number of instructions? Just write observe this clearly. Which programming language takes less number of instructions? Just observe this clearly. Come on, guys, I'm waiting for a response now. Which programming language is taking less number of instructions? No. Obviously, Python is taking less number of instructions or not? Definitely, Python is taking less number of instructions. So because of that reason here, we can conclude Python is able to prepare applications with less number of instructions. This is one of the advantages of this Python language. Right. So then after this, after completion of this particular one, another content here, what I'm telling right. Not required to specify data types. Data types for the variables explicitly. Not required to specify data types for the variables explicitly. For variables explicitly, we are not going to provide data types. Right, so that's an advantage of Python here that we can understand it now. Why? Because for example, what's the point I'm telling byte b is equal to 130. Is it possible in C, C++, Java, guys? Now tell me no. In C, C++, and Java, now tell me, byte b is equal to 130. Is it possible? Right? Not possible. Not valid. Not possible. Why? Because what is the reason? No, not possible. What is the reason? No. Byte will have range of values. Range values. Minus 128 to plus 127. Not possible. Why? Because byte data type will have the range values from minus 128 to plus 127. In C, C++, Java, this is a situation. But in the case of Python, what's the advantage here? We are able to get b is equal to 130. Nothing else. It able to take it as an integer value. Not b now. Then c is equal to like what I'm telling here, int value. Any value we can take without fractions. No, now it will be like what I'm telling you, int value. But d is equal to 20.22. Right now this is like what now? Float value. Like this, in the case of Python, we can assign any type of data to the variable, no, without thinking about its type and all. So we can provide anything. So by this we can understand not record specific data types for the variables explicitly. So almost half of the errors we are able to remove. If data types are not available, half of the errors we are able to remove in our programming. This is one point. Next one is the fifth one is less error prone programming language. Lesser error prone programming language. As I'm asking one question to you now, try to answer for it. Simply a is equal to 10 now. Is it valid or invalid? Valid or invalid? Valid or invalid? In the case of C, C++ Java. In the case of C, C++ Java, it is invalid. C, C++ Java, it is what? No, invalid. Right, yes, it is invalid. Why? Why it is invalid? Can you tell me, guys? Why it is invalid in C, C++? Any idea? Definitely. The semicolon is missing. It is invalid. Say, for example, and A is equal to 10 semicolon is valid. It is valid. That means semicolon is mandatory. But in the case of Python, what happened there? In Python, A is equal to semicolon, A is equal to 10 without semicolon. Both are valid. Both are valid. Simple examples I'm telling you, both are valid. Why? Because semicolon is optional in the case of this Python. Both are valid. Tell me, in which programming languages more chances are available to get errors? No? In which programming language more number of errors we are able to get? Now tell me, guys. In which programming language more number of errors we are able to get? That means more chances to get errors in which programming language? In which programming language less number of chances are available to get errors? Right, sir. Less number of errors we are able to get in Python, more number of errors we are able to get in right, C, C++, no. C, C++ and Java. So Python is able to provide, Python is what? Less error prone programming language. Python is what? Less error prone programming language. So less number of errors we are able to get in the case of Python only, not in the case of Java. That's why we can conclude less error prone programming language. That's it. So this is another point that we have to understand. So these are the reasons why we can conclude Python is what? Very simple programming language when compared with Java, C, C++, and Java. Right, so these are the points, guys. We can understand it clearly. Good. Next one is then after that, the second difference here, what I'm telling you, after completion of this one, the second difference would be C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java and Python are dynamic programming languages. Right, sir. C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java and Python are dynamic programming languages. This is the second point. So guys, then this point I will discuss with you on tomorrow. And time is also not sufficient today. Right. And this topic I will discuss with them tomorrow, and tomorrow onwards we'll continue the content, guys. That's all for today. I'll meet on tomorrow. Right. And anything else, guys? Shall we meet on tomorrow? Yeah, course completion certificate you will get, sir. At the end of the course, you will get course completion certificate, definitely. Yeah, the soft copy we will send. Not required to go for any pre-learning for this Python. Python is a startup course. Not required to go for another startup course for this Python. Java assistance will be provided. Then how to crack that interface and these guidelines will provide. Guys, and this totally Python course, and I'm telling you, it is not full complete Python package. It's totally Python course. All these are going to be covered inside this Python. Total syllabus I have written is Python syllabus only. Okay. Thank you. What is the meaning of prone programming language? Means that more chances. Error prone in the sense more number of errors are possible. More chances are available to get errors. Right. So I don't have programming skills, but I can Start Python directly. Yes, no problem. Satish, you can start it. Python is very startup programming language. In the case, if I need any C, C++ topics from in Python classes, no need to worry for this. I will discuss them. Then I will start our content in Python. If any prerequisite is available, then I will take responsibility. Not worry for this. The chip package should be best to take the complete Python course. Mahesh, I want to learn one minute, learn what I need to learn in Python. So total Python is required. The total core advanced Python and tools and these syllabus. The total Python basic Python course is required. So this Python course is required. Next one is which package should be best to take for a complete Python course. Complete Python course in the sense here only one package we are having it. Python package and this is a Python package. Core advanced Python, Django, REST API, and UI. Yeah, this is best. Nowadays people are taking this more. Okay. Anything else, guys? Shall we meet on tomorrow? Right, sir. Then just fee related things. Just one time talk with Bhavani. She'll be available here in these numbers, and she'll be available. Just we can talk with her. Yeah, better Karthik. Yes, Karthik. It will be better. Better switch to data science. Then you can go for it. You can identify this, but Python will be covered here, and data science is a separate course. You can start. At Durga sir, the Sasmita madam is taking that class as well. Just you can start with the data science. But first you should learn Python completely. And after this class, when I terminate this session now, and our admin people will share the total syllabus content to you for Python and for Django and for REST API and all that syllabuses will be provided to you. So we can take that. Thank you. How many projects will be covered inside this? Does the project work in the sense like what I'm telling to you? For the sake of your practicing purpose only, the projects, not for the sake of keeping in our resume for experience. Just what are the things you are going to be learned for on the basis of that some projects we are going to be prepared. They are for the sake of your project only, not for the sake of keeping in our resume. That's the clarity what I'm telling you. For each and every course we are planning for this project. Basically, Python, total Python one project, Django or Flask one project, maybe. Then like what next one? The reps might be REST services, maybe one project, maybe max 2 to 3 projects we are able to get in the package part. But if it's only Python, no, you are able to get only one project at the end. Yeah, yeah. You do so. Just you can talk with her, no issues. Yeah, Tejati. Then every class notes I will provide. Every class there's a classroom notes I will provide. This classroom notes I will provide through Google Drive, Google Classroom there. No need to worry for this. That within 1 or 2 days of time, I will send this class notes to all of you. Siba, then whatever the projects we are providing, that is just for the sake of our practice only. What are the things we are going to learn at the result on the basis of that, we are going to provide some projects. That means that's it. It's not for the sake of showing experience, it's not for the sake of keeping that project in our resume. Yeah. Prerequisite for this course is not required. Directly we can start your learning. Why? Because it's a fundamental course. Python is a fundamental course, just directly we can start it. If you know just basics of computer science, that's sufficient. Not required to go for any pre-required programming language. Okay. Mahesh, it is invalid question for me. It's out of syllabus. Not within our syllabus, it's out of syllabus. Good. Certification will be based on Python course only. That means certification in the sense what you are thinking about it now. And then Microsoft certification is there. That is okay, fine. That is Microsoft certification on Python. Yeah, certificate in the sense at the end of the course, Durgasoft is providing course completion certificate. So you are studied Python course at Durgasoft like this, we are going to provide one certificate. That is Durgasoft provided certificate. But if you want to go for certification on Python, that means Microsoft certification, that course will be different, not here. Yeah, Microsoft certification, the training will be separate. Separate training is going on there. Yeah. So right guys, and that's all fine. And tomorrow we will meet and tomorrow we'll clarify if you have any doubts regarding this one. And I have another class at 10 o'clock. I have to start another class now. As part of the complete Python package, UA part will be covered deeply or just required to work on Python. It is a separate course. Anyway, then, Sivan, just one time take our syllabus papers there. Just we can check the syllabus content. Then if it's actually, then we can think of it. Regarding this, it's like total course we are going to be covered. That means up to how much we are going to be covered here on that. HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, DOM, jQuery, and Ajax. It may take nearly 1.5 months to 2 months of time. This UI. Parallel, we are going to start it. So 1.5 months to 2 months of time we are going to take for only UI. So by that we can understand it's a light or maybe complete deep knowledge. Okay. But once we are taking responsibility, definitely as per our level base, we are going to teach them. Definitely. Then light knowledge in the sense it's not possible in my classes especially. Just get syllabus and check the syllabus max before checking the total parts. Alright, so fee for this course, just guys, and one time talk with Bhavani, she's our admin, and at this number she'll be available. Just one time talk with her, she'll provide more information. Okay, thank you, guys. Thanks a lot, and I have some other session tomorrow. I'll clarify your doubts if you have any. Use the same link and attend for tomorrow's session. Then I will give more clarity on it. Okay, if you have any further concerns on this particular one. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll meet on tomorrow.